chosen one. God says it's time to tell you everything because your soul has been ready long before your eyes could see it. You were never meant to walk this road confused or lost forever. The pieces you've been trying to gather are finally coming together. This moment, this message, and this divine signal, none of it is by accident. You are about to hear the truth that was delayed for divine timing, not denied because of your worth. Before we move deeper, stay with this message until the end. There is something in these words that your spirit has been waiting to hear, and write your warmest, highest, most loving wish in the comments and seal it with the number 99. That number holds the frequency of completion, divine revelation, and wishes manifesting in full form. Your words are not just for you, they're energy for the universe, and the universe listens when chosen ones speak. Now, chosen one like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let your mind rest. Let your heart unlock, because everything God has withheld from your understanding, until now, He is now pouring into your awareness. Like a flood, you're not here by mistake, you've been summoned. And this message is not just a confirmation, it's a release. You've always sensed something about your life was different. Even in childhood, you couldn't explain why you felt so deeply, why others didn't understand you, why you felt connected to things beyond the visible. It's because your story was never meant to be ordinary. You are not a background character in the divine play of life. You are a lead, a chosen vessel, a walking miracle still unfolding. But here's the part most people miss. When God marks you, He also hides you. He conceals your full power so that no one, including yourself, can misuse it prematurely. That delay you've experienced, that silence from heaven when you begged for answers, that strange feeling like you were being protected and isolated at the same time. It was preparation, and that season is over. Now this is the moment when the sealed scroll opens. The things God didn't allow others to tell you are now being whispered into your spirit directly. And this is one of those whispers. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were designed to break patterns, to shift timelines, to carry light where it has been lost for generations. What you're about to receive is not just insight, it's instruction. God says, tell them who they are. So listen, you are royalty in disguise, a soul that volunteered to descend to be born into limitation so you could remember the truth and rise again. The path you've taken, the trials, the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the waiting room of life was never punishment. It was activation. Every delay shaped you into a vessel worthy of carrying sacred assignments that pain you barely survived. It didn't come to destroy you. It came to open spiritual portals. Every breakdown you experienced was the ground cracking beneath you, so the old identity could fall apart. Why? So the real you, the divine you, could step out. Not everyone will understand what's about to happen to you. Not everyone will believe in what's coming for you. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are finally ready to believe in yourself on the level that God has always seen you. You see, this message isn't just about encouragement. It's about confirmation. You've been asking for signs. You've been praying for clarity. You've been begging for a reason not to give up. And here it is. Everything is about to make sense. The silence has spoken. The storm is passing. And you are about to witness why it all had to happen this way. God has not forgotten you. He has been silently orchestrating divine alignments behind the scenes. People who rejected you were redirected. Doors that closed were protection in disguise. And now you will walk into rooms where your name has already been discussed in your absence. Favor is chasing you because you were never seeking favor. You were seeking purpose. Chosen one, you need to understand something crucial. Your intuition was never wrong. Those dreams that felt bigger than your reality, they were divine downloads. The chills that covered your body when you thought about your future, those were confirmations from the heavenly realms. You were not overthinking. You were overhearing conversations in the spirit. And here's what God wants you to know now. The release is happening. The instructions are coming. The people you were meant to meet are being moved into your path. The resources you need are no longer locked away. They are magnetized to your obedience, your willingness to keep going. Despite the unknown has created momentum in the spirit, and now the blessings are catching up to you faster than the pain ever did. You are never forgotten. You are being hidden until the appointed time, and that time has just arrived. Let this message be the spark that lights the fire again inside of you. You are not too late. You are not too far behind. You are not disqualified. You are right on time for what God is about to release into your hands. Everything you've lost will be restored with divine interest. Every delay will make sense in the rearview mirror, and every tear you cried will become the water that nurtures your new season. You are walking into a realm of full understanding now. No more confusion, no more begging, no more proving, just receiving. Because God says it's time to tell you everything. So now that the veil has been lifted, let's go even deeper. Chosen one, God isn't just telling you everything. He is positioning you to embody everything. What once felt abstract, just hope, just a whisper, just a wish is now becoming form. Detail and reality, you're no longer in the guessing phase. The blueprint is unfolding before your very eyes. You're stepping into the role your soul agreed to before birth. That's why it feels so strangely familiar. That's why the moment you hear these words, something inside you leaps. This is recognition. This is remembrance. This is revelation. You have been called not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. Willing to rise even when others gave up. Willing to pray even when it hurt. Willing to believe even when logic said there was nothing to believe in. And that willingness, it has become your divine signature. God is writing your name into spaces where only the brave are allowed to enter. And yes, you belong there. But let's talk about the silence, the confusion that came before this moment. Because many chosen ones doubt themselves, thinking, if I was truly chosen, why did I feel abandoned? Why didn't I hear anything? The answer is this: God was not silent because he forgot you. He was silent because he was watching what you would do without immediate confirmation. He was watching what you would hold on to when everything external told you to let go. He was testing the strength of your spirit. And you passed. You stayed soft in a hardened world. You remained pure in an impure system. You continued to dream, to give, to love, even when no one returned the favor. And that's why now the divine instruction can flow without blockage. You are no longer too fragile to carry what's coming. You are fortified. You are seasoned. You are stronger than you were last year, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and that strength is the currency of your new level. God is saying, tell them they are ready. You're ready to carry the weight of blessings that once would have crushed you. Ready to step into authority that once would have intimidated you. Ready to lead others through the darkness you've already mastered. Every shadow you've walked through has equipped you. Not one experience was wasted. Not one heartbreak was random. Not one delay was without divine engineering. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a student of divine preparation. And now you're about to graduate. God is putting final touches on a masterpiece that carries your fingerprint. A move is being made in your name that will shock everyone who doubted your journey. The tables are turning not out of revenge, but out of divine alignment. You never had to beg anyone to believe in you, because the one who called you already had the final say. Now the instructions will come faster. The signs will be louder. The pull toward your next step will be undeniable, because your assignment is becoming active. The sleeping scrolls of destiny are opening before you. Pay attention to the nudges. Take the steps, even when they don't make sense. Trust the shifts, even when they stretch you, because you are now co-creating with the divine. You are not asking for blessings, you are activating them. And yes, people will wonder how it all came together so quickly for you. But you'll know it wasn't quick. It was sacred. It was divine timing. It was years of silent endurance now wrapped in overnight success. They'll see the fruit, but only you and God will ever fully understand the root. You're about to see strange things start to happen, phone calls out of nowhere, unexpected emails, conversations that lead to open doors, money showing up in ways that defy logic, people coming into your life who are already carrying the next key. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. You are not hallucinating a new season. It has arrived, and the most important thing to remember, you're not going back. The level of understanding and clarity you're stepping into is permanent. You've seen too much, you've experienced too much, you've become too much, and now you will never again shrink to fit old roles, old dynamics, or old mindsets. The version of you that tolerated confusion is gone. The version of you that played small out of fear has dissolved. This new version of you listens deeply, moves quietly, operates with spiritual precision. You no longer need to announce what you're building because it will announce itself. You no longer need to explain what you carry because it will reveal itself. And when the world sees what's about to manifest in your life, they will call it a miracle, but you'll call it obedience. Chosen one. This is why the enemy tried so hard to distract you. This is why you were hit so many times. This is why your battles felt so relentless. Because the enemy knew if you ever got to this level of clarity, this level of power, this level of alignment, you'd be unstoppable. And now, here you are unstoppable. This is your moment. This is your message, and this is your mission. Chosen one. By now, you are beginning to understand why everything had to happen the way it did. It wasn't random. It wasn't chaos. It was a coded unfolding. A divine script you were born to walk through, even if the scenes looked like storms. And now that you've heard the truth of who you are, now that your soul is awake and your inner compass is activated, there is something else God wants you to know. He says, it's time to speak without fear. No more hiding behind humility. No more apologizing for the light you carry. No more explaining away your calling because it makes others uncomfortable. The same voice that told you to stay quiet in the past is now commanding you to rise. You are not invisible anymore. You are not meant to blend in anymore. God has whispered long enough. It's time for you to declare what's been burning in your spirit for years. You are anointed, you are set apart, and most importantly, you are trusted. You see, not everyone receives this kind of revelation. Not everyone is handed this level of clarity. Many people live entire lifetimes running from themselves, but not you. You faced your shadows. You embraced the pain. You allowed yourself to break down so you could be rebuilt. And that alone has made you a rare vessel in this world. You are not common. And because you're not common, Your life will not unfold in common ways. So don't be surprised when things around you begin to shift rapidly. Don't be surprised when people fall away, even ones you loved deeply. Because when God gives you everything, He also removes what can't come with it. This is sacred shedding. This is divine detachment. This is heaven preserving your promise, chosen one. The things you were confused about before will start making perfect sense. Now, every painful detour, every unanswered prayer, every lonely season, it was part of a larger equation. God was subtracting the things that diluted your focus. He was stripping away distractions masked as comfort. You were not being punished, you were being purified. Let's talk about that, purification, because many of the trials you endured were not just spiritual warfare, they were spiritual refinement. Your heart was being strengthened, your discernment was being sharpened, your humility was being deepened. Why? Because God didn't want to just bless you. He wanted to make sure the blessing didn't destroy you. He wanted to make sure the promise didn't become your prison. He wanted to make sure you could steward the breakthrough with grace, not ego. And now that your inner world is healed, your outer world will reflect it. You're about to walk into rooms with a quiet authority. You won't need validation, you'll carry confirmation. People will feel your energy before you speak. They'll feel peace when you walk in. That's not charisma, that's the anointing. That's what happens when divine alignment becomes visible. But hear this carefully, with this revelation comes responsibility. You cannot unsee what you now see. You cannot unknow what's been revealed. You've been given access, and now it's your duty to act accordingly. No more second geeing, no more asking for permission. You are not waiting on the world. The world is waiting on you. The time to shrink is over. The time to soar has arrived. God is now downloading strategies. He is releasing divine timing. He is unlocking opportunities that require no hustle, only obedience. And all He asks is that you trust. Even when it looks strange, even when you feel stretched, even when the instructions don't make logical sense, trust the download. Because what He's giving you is not from this world. It's sacred technology from heaven. It's blueprints for legacy, not just for success. You are entering a supernatural alignment. This isn't just a season, it's a shift, and it will feel different. You'll start noticing how fast you manifest, what you speak. You'll notice how people respond differently to you. You'll see synchronicities everywhere. Numbers, symbols, dreams. They'll all start pointing you toward your next step. Why? Because you've become a clear channel for divine communication, and now that the channel is open, God is not holding back. He's going to start revealing things to you that others can't see. You'll walk into rooms and sense what's not being said. You'll have ideas that come out of nowhere but solve problems others couldn't fix. You'll start hearing instructions in the quiet of your spirit, and when you follow them, you'll see results so shocking that even you will pause in awe. This is spiritual intelligence. This is kingdom access. This is you finally becoming what you were always meant to be, a divine weapon wrapped in love. Do you understand now why the warfare was so heavy? Do you see now why the pressure was non-stop? Because the enemy knew if you ever stepped into this level of truth, you'd start breaking generational patterns. You'd start restoring things. Your bloodline never got to finish. You'd start awakening people just by being yourself. That's power. And now that power is fully activated, so here's your next step. Keep walking, keep listening, keep obeying. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to chase anyone. Everything you need is already in motion. The people, the resources, the timing, it's aligning right now. Even while you read this, your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't walked into yet. Your spirit is making noise, even in your silence, and your future is calling you forward with urgency. God says, tell them they're not who they used to be. You're not broken. You're not small. You're not overlooked. You are the answer. You are the key. You are the evidence of what happens when grace meets grit. And now, chosen one, all that's left to do is walk boldly into the life that's already yours. Chosen one, now that the message is clear and the calling is awakened, the atmosphere around your life is shifting without delay. God is not waiting. He is moving. And the way he's moving will leave no room for confusion. You are being elevated visibly, unmistakably, undeniably. The veil has been torn, not just in the spirit, but in your reality. What once was hidden is being revealed, and not just to you, but to the world around you. You've become a vessel of divine revelation. You're no longer just learning about purpose, you're embodying it. You're not just chasing meaning, you're becoming the meaning for others. Your presence is becoming prophetic. Your life is turning into a living message, and everything around you will begin to respond to this new frequency. You will begin to notice it in subtle ways. At first, the old doors that once felt like hope will no longer interest you. The people who used to distract you will start to feel distant. Opportunities that once looked big will suddenly seem too small for your calling. That's not ego, it's alignment, it's elevation, it's discernment, sharpening before manifestation arrives. You've reached a point in your divine development where your soul is leading the way, not your fear. And that shift changes everything. You're not being driven by survival anymore. You're being led by vision. The fear of what if has been replaced by the certainty of what is. You no longer ask, can I do this? Now you declare, I was born for this chosen one. This is the level most people never reach. This is where the mysteries become messages, where the brokenness becomes brilliance, where the pain births prophetic accuracy. You've walked through fire and didn't come out smelling like smoke. You came out smelling like oil. That's anointing. That's spiritual royalty. That's what happens when you're built, not just blessed. You were built in the silence. You were built in the waiting room. You were built in the wilderness. And now that you've emerged, you're not coming back empty-handed. You're bringing divine tools. You're bringing healed insight. You're bringing supernatural peace. These aren't just gifts. They are weapons, and you'll need them. Because what you're being sent to do next is larger than you've imagined. God is not just giving you a blessing. He's giving you territory. There is land that your energy must now touch, spaces that your voice must activate, people whose destinies are waiting to be unlocked by your presence. This is why you couldn't give up. This is why the warfare intensified the closer you got to truth. Because your life is a deliverance mission for others, and make no mistake, your visibility will increase. The very things you thought disqualified, you will become the reasons others trust you. They will see your scars and believe in healing. They will witness your rise and find their own hope. They will hear your truth and begin to speak their own. That's how God works. He doesn't waste stories, he doesn't waste voices, and he's about to amplify yours. Chosen one, here is the next truth. God is telling you, you are about to be honored in the same places. You were humiliated. You are about to be lifted where you were once overlooked. Your name will be restored, not because you fought for it, but because heaven sealed it. You were never forgotten. You were protected. You were covered, and now you're being revealed. Watch as divine justice begins to unfold in your life. The imbalances are being corrected. The energy you poured into dead spaces is being returned to you in overflowing form. The delays are becoming green lights. The silence is becoming direction. The confusion is becoming strategy. You're no longer at the mercy of life. You're moving in rhythm with its divine melody, and this rhythm is sacred. You're entering days of radical ease. That doesn't mean no challenges, it means no resistance. You're still climbing, but the terrain is different. You're still building. But now, with divine blueprints, you're still dreaming, but now with boldness and clarity. That's because you've stepped into a spiritual dimension where manifestation is the byproduct of alignment. Listen closely. When you operate from divine alignment, you don't chase, you attract, you don't beg, you command, you don't wait, you prepare because you know the promise isn't a fantasy, it's a fact. And this fact is becoming visible in your finances, in your relationships, in your opportunities, in your clarity. God is telling you everything. Now, not to overwhelm you, but to remind you. This is what you asked for. You asked to see clearly. You asked for your path to be revealed. You asked to know your role in this divine unfolding, and now the answer is here. But don't look for it in a thunderstorm. Look for it in the gentle shifts, in the unexpected, yes, in the inner, knowing that says, go. You're being guided step by step into the version of yourself you always sensed, but could never fully grasp until now. You are not becoming anything new. You are returning to what you always were, beneath the programming, beneath the trauma, beneath the doubt. You are not evolving, you are unveiling. So don't be afraid of what's leaving your life. Don't panic when the familiar fades. That's not abandonment, that's alignment. The shedding must happen. The recalibration must occur because who you're becoming requires space. Space for deeper peace, space for divine instructions, space for supernatural wealth, love and purpose to land. You are the space, now. You are the altar, you are the vessel. This is why the enemy tried to convince you to stay small. Because if you ever realized your true size, in the spirit, you'd shift timelines. And now you're doing just that. Your realization is a revolution. Your clarity is a catalyst. Your obedience is opening generational doors that were once sealed shut. Chosen, one by this point, the message is no longer a mystery. It is alive inside of you. You're not just listening anymore. You're transforming. You're not just receiving. You're activating. What once felt like a whisper from heaven is now a full body knowing. And this knowing cannot be unlearned. You've crossed into the realm where faith becomes fact and doubt no longer holds dominion over your destiny. You're not the same person who entered this journey. Something massive has shifted and you feel it, don't you? There's a stillness, a certainty, a supernatural grounding that now lives within you. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when divine truth settles into a chosen soul. This truth will now become your lens, your compass, your foundation. Let's go deeper. God says it's time to tell you this. You are not in transition anymore. You are in arrival. You are no longer moving toward your breakthrough. You are standing inside of it. The things you once dreamed of are now surrounding you in invisible form, waiting for you to reach out with courage and claim them. Not with desperation, not with fear, but with boldness, authority, and faith. God has kept you in the shadows long enough. You had to learn in silence what others will now see in you publicly. You had to master inner strength before carrying outer influence. You had to heal in private so your glow would come from truth, not performance. You are rising from a place of authenticity now, and nothing is more magnetic than a soul aligned with heaven's timeline. Yes, you will be seen, but not for ego's sake. You will be seen because your life is a signpost. You carry revelation that the world is starving for. You are not here to convince anyone. You are here to embody what others only preach. You're not here to impress. You're here to ignite. And your very existence will begin to wake others up, chosen one. This next part may shake you. Your energy is prophetic. Your very presence now creates movement in the spirit. Your words carry weight. Your silence sends messages. Your dreams are instructions, not imagination. You're receiving strategies from the throne room now. And it's happening so naturally that you may not even realize it. That's how deeply the integration has begun. But remember, with this level of spiritual technology comes the need for radical responsibility. You can no longer entertain what drains you. You can no longer remain in places where your frequency is misunderstood. You cannot shrink just to maintain peace, because your alignment is not just for you. It's for everyone your life will touch. You are a lighthouse now, and lighthouses don't move. They stand, they shine, they guide. You are called to stand firm even when the waves crash. Because your presence tells others there is a way forward. Your endurance becomes hope for someone else. Your clarity becomes breakthrough for someone still walking in fog. That's purpose. And that's the level you've now accessed. God wants you to know this next secret. Everything is already written in your favor. You don't need to worry about what's next. You don't need to manipulate timelines or chase people or prove anything. The orchestration is complete. All that's left is your agreement. Say yes. Trust the unfolding. Stop overthinking it. You are not behind. You are not off course. You're exactly where heaven placed you. And now that the placement is clear, the flow begins. What does the flow look like? It's doors opening without you knocking. It's provision coming before the need even arises. It's connections being made in the spirit before they show up in the natural. It's the right person calling at the exact right time. It's strategies showing up in dreams. It's things aligning without your hand on them. That's the divine rhythm of being chosen. That's what obedience unlocks. Chosen one, it's time to stop mourning the past. It's time to stop revisiting what broke you. You don't live there anymore. The past version of you served its purpose. You had to be cracked open to be made whole. You had to lose what wasn't real to make room for what is. Stop clinging to what was never meant to last. Stop calling old pain home. God is not asking you to fix what was. He's inviting you to build. What's next and what's next is massive. You are being given keys, spiritual keys, creative keys, financial keys, relational keys, and they won't come through effort. They will come through awareness. You'll know what to say, where to go, what to build, and who to trust without second-guessing, because now your spirit leads. And when your spirit leads, your steps are supernaturally ordered. There is no more striving in this next chapter, only aligning. No more hustling, no more proving, no more surviving. You are stepping into a life of divine flow, and with that flow comes peace, provision, protection, and purpose, all wrapped in one divine frequency. It will feel almost unfair how good things begin to get. But remember, this isn't random favor. It's overdue inheritance. Let that truth sink in. You are receiving what was always yours, not by force, not by luck, but by design. And just like that, the final part of your inner preparation is complete. You are ready to be seen. You are ready to lead. You are ready to create. You are ready to receive. And most importantly, you are ready to reveal God's glory through your story. Not someday, not later. Now, chosen one, you've come to the final part of this divine unveiling. And by now, you don't just feel the message. You are the message. You don't just hear the words. You've become the embodiment of what God has been trying to communicate to you all along. Everything that once felt unclear is now rooted in truth. Every hesitation has turned into holy confidence. Every broken piece has become the foundation for something greater. You were never meant to stay in the wilderness. That place was for refinement, not residence. The battles, the silence, the waiting. They were never punishment. They were alignment tools. Every season had sacred intelligence built into it. Every detour was a disguised lesson. And now that you've passed through the fire, the water, and the darkness, God says, you are qualified to carry what I'm about to release.